حي على الفلاح.
For most teenagers, a crush is one of the first times they start to experience actually liking someone or admiring someone. It can be very overwhelming and confusing. Since these feelings you're experiencing are new, you get easily overwhelmed by them. You may start to believe that the person you're admiring is the right one for you, and you may fantasize that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. Don't be afraid of your feelings. They are real, and there is nothing shameful about them. It is a natural part of growing up. In Islam, it is not a sin if you feel a special affinity or inclination towards a certain individual, since human beings have no control on such natural inclinations. We are, however, definitely responsible and accountable if we get carried away by such feelings and take specific actions or steps that might be deemed as haram. Crushes, those fleeting feelings of intense attraction and admiration, are a common part of the human experience, and Muslims are no exception. But within an Islamic framework, where does the concept of a crush fit in? Does Islam consider it permissible, or is it forbidden? This lecture aims to shed light on the nuanced Islamic perspective on having crushes, examining the interplay between fleeting emotions and the importance of adhering to Islamic rulings on relationships. Allah says, "And among His signs is that He created for you mates from among yourselves, that you may dwell in tranquility with them, and He has put love and mercy between your hearts." Allah says, "Lower your gaze and guard your modesty." Common misconceptions about crushes. Crushes are always haram, while unregulated behavior fueled by a crush may lead to haram actions. Islam acknowledges the natural experience of attraction. The key is focusing on managing our emotions responsibly. Crushes are the same as love. Crushes are often fleeting and based on superficial admiration. Love, as understood in Islam, is a deeper, more lasting commitment developed within marriage. If I have a crush, I must immediately pursue marriage. It's wise to take time for self-reflection and assess whether your feelings and the situation align with the principles of a halal relationship. Sometimes acknowledging the crush and moving on, with focus on other aspects of life, is most appropriate. Islam forbids any enjoyment or fun before marriage. Islam promotes joy and fulfillment within its boundaries. Crushes, when handled with maturity, can offer self-awareness and lessons about personal preferences, preparing us for the right spouse down the road. A crush indicates a perfect match for marriage. A crush is based on limited information. Marriage compatibility requires consideration of character, faith compatibility, and life goals for beyond initial attraction. Objections to the Islamic view on crushes. This view represses natural human emotions. Islam doesn't deny emotions. It offers a framework to manage them. This guidance protects us from potential heartache and haram actions stemming from unregulated feelings. It's unfair to place restrictions on relationships before marriage. Islamic guidelines on relationships aim to create a society where individuals are honored and protected. Premarital intimacy can blur judgment and lead to clouded decisions. Everyone else is dating. Why can't I? Islam offers a countercultural perspective, prioritizing long-term well-being and spiritual fulfillment over fleeting trends. I'll never get married if I don't explore crushes. Trust in Allah's plan. Islam provides ways to seek a spouse in halal ways, involving families and communities when appropriate. This view creates a culture of shame around natural feelings. Rather than shame, Islam cultivates self-control and dignity. Recognizing crushes as normal doesn't equate to acting upon them impulsively. Frequently asked questions. Is it haram to have a crush in Islam? Does secretly admiring someone count as a crush? Yes. Feelings of strong attraction and admiration, even if kept internal, could be considered a crush. Islam encourages us to manage even internal emotions to protect our hearts and actions. What should I do if I have a crush on a non-Muslim? Islam advises marriage between Muslim partners. It's best to manage the crush responsibly, potentially using it as an opportunity to strengthen your own faith and boundaries. Is it okay to have a crush on a celebrity? While it's natural to admire talent or looks, obsessing over an unattainable figure can be unhealthy. Islam promotes channeling our energy into productive pursuits and relationships that have real potential. What if I have a crush on someone of the same sex? Islam's view on same-sex relationships is clear. If you're struggling with these feelings, it's important to seek guidance from a trusted Islamic scholar while remembering Allah's mercy and love. Is it permissible to tell someone I have a crush on them? This requires great caution. Expressing your feelings directly could lead to fitna and temptation, or an embarrassing situation if they're not reciprocated. It's best to assess the situation and seek guidance for a respectful and halal approach. This doesn't mean that it is haram for a man or woman to like a specific person whom he or she chooses to be a spouse and feel love for that person and want to marry them if possible. Love has to do with the heart, and it may appear in a person's heart for reasons known or unknown. But if it is because of mixing or looking or haram conversations, then it is also haram. If it is because of previous acquaintance, being related, or because of hearing about that person, and one cannot ward it off, then there is nothing wrong with that love, so long as one adheres to the sacred limits set by Allah. Ibn al-Qayyim, may Allah have mercy on him, said, if love develops for a reason that is not haram, a person cannot be blamed for that, such as one who loves his wife or his slave woman. Then he leaves her, but that love remains and does not leave him. He is not to be blamed for that. The same applies if he glances accidentally, then looks away. But love may settle in his heart without him wanting it to, but he has to ward it off and look away. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah said, a person may hear that a woman is of good character and virtuous and knowledgeable, so he may want to marry her. Or a woman may hear that a man is of good character and virtuous and knowledgeable and religiously committed, so she may want to marry him. But contact between the two who admire one another in ways that are not Islamically acceptable is the problem, which leads to disastrous consequences. In this case, it is not permissible for the man to get in touch with a woman or for the woman to get in touch with a man and say that he wants to marry her. Rather, he should tell her wali, guardian, that he wants to marry her, or she should tell her wali that she wants to marry him, as Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, did when he offered his daughter Hafsa in marriage to Abu Bakr and Uthman, May Allah be pleased with them both. But if the woman contacts the man directly, this is what leads to fitna, temptation. Conclusion: having a crush is a natural human experience, whether you are a Muslim or not. But Islam offers a unique and nuanced perspective on how to understand these emotions. It acknowledges feelings of attraction while emphasizing the importance of self-discipline and channeling those emotions within the boundaries of marriage. Rather than seeing Islam's guidelines as restrictive, consider them a roadmap for navigating these complex matters with wisdom and clarity. By lowering one's gaze, avoiding unnecessary interactions with the opposite gender, and guarding our hearts, we shield ourselves from potential heartache and uphold the sanctity of our actions. Remember, Islam fundamentally aims to preserve our well-being, both in this life and the hereafter. When we prioritize seeking Allah's pleasure by following His guidelines, even in matters of the heart, we invite blessings, peace, and ultimately a love that surpasses the fleeting nature of a crush, the enduring bond of marriage.